India miss out on a clean sweep win. UAE continue their winning streak. West Indies make drastic changes in the team, and the first female candidate selected as the president of FICA. Hello and welcome to the weekly briefings with me, Chandi. I've already given you hints of what's on the show this week, so let's hear more about that in the next 5 minutes. India sealed a win in the T20 International Series against Sri Lanka, but Sri Lanka halted a clean sweep in the last match. In a 3-match series against Sri Lanka, India sealed the deal with a 2-1 win. In the second T20 International at Dangula Stadium, Sri Lanka opted to bat first. Vishnu Gunaratne and Chamaria Tapatu fired in the innings with 45 and 43 runs respectively, setting a competitive target of 125 runs. When it was India's turn to bat, there were a few early dismissals, but everyone from Smriti Mandhana to Shefali Verma to Stafanie Taylor and of course Harmanpreet Kaur showed their sweeps and cover drives, achieving the target with 5 balls and 5 wickets to spare. In the third T20 International, Sri Lanka pulled up their socks, avoiding a clean sweep win for India. Bowling first, Sri Lanka made sure none of the Indian batters settled, even though they all contributed their bit with 30-odd runs, scoring 138 in their 20 overs. Chamaria Tapatu led from the front when they came down to bat, with her 80 not out, supported greatly by Nilakshi De Silva, winning the match by 7 wickets. The player of the match was, as expected, Chamaria Tapatu, while the player of the tournament was Harmanpreet Kaur. Ramleela Khan announces retirement from all formats. Indian all-rounder and an excellent fielder Ramleela Khan has announced retirement from all formats of the game. The 38-year-old has had a commendable career of 23 years where she led the women in blue and even played the World Cup final in 2005. Khan has played 100 international matches, which include 80 T20 internationals and 4 tests, and has represented the Indian Railways, Rajasthan and West Bengal in the domestic circuit. Clinical UAE win ACCT20 Championship, riding on T Satish's 50. UAE has been on a roll for quite some time now, and they have had an unbeaten run in the ACCT20 Championship in Malaysia as well. UAE played its final against Malaysia, who also had a good run in winning 4 of the 6 matches in the tournament. The 2 matches that Malaysia lost were against UAE itself, and then add to that the finals. In the finals, Malaysia opted to bat first, made 100 runs in its 20 overs. This was an easy target for the UAE players as T Satish smashed 55 runs and was supported by Isha Oza and Khushi Sharma. Both UAE and Malaysia will now join India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Thailand in the Asia Cup later this year. Hayley Matthews replaces Stafanie Taylor as West Indies captain. Cricket West Indies selection panel has reviewed the team and has decided that young all-rounder Hayley Matthews should be promoted from a vice-captain role to captain. The panel is of the opinion that Hayley made notable progress over the years, matured as a player, and is named in the leading players of the world. So this is an ideal time for her to step into the skipper's shoes. Additionally, keeping an eye on the T20 World Cup early next year, making these changes now ensures that everyone is well settled. Stafanie Taylor captained the team for 7 years and captained successfully. Under Taylor, West Indies won the World Cup in 2016 and has reached the semi-finals in this year's World Cup. So if you look at it, Matthews has had an excellent guide and role model, yet she has some big shoes to fill in. Sthalekar appointed as FICA President. We always rejoice when women are recognized for their talent and capabilities, and this is one of those times. Sthalekar is the first lady to be appointed as the President of the Federation of International Cricketers Association. The 42-year-old has played 187 international matches and has close to 4,000 runs with over 200 wickets to her name. She was also part of Australia's World Cup winning squads in both ODI and T20. Sthalekar was selected for this role because apart from being a cricketer, she's been a broadcaster and independent director of FICA and was also on the board of Australian Cricket Association. Hence, she's been working with administrators protecting player rights for a long time, which makes her the best choice for this role. Ruth Johnston signs 2-year contract with Hobart Hurricanes. 19-year-old all-rounder Ruth Johnston from Queensland had a brilliant debut at the Women's Big Bash League last season. In her very first season of the tournament, Johnston was the 3rd highest run scorer for her team Hobart Hurricanes with over 200 runs and the 2nd highest wicket taker with 13 scalps. Her best bowling figures were 4 for 8. With such an excellent performance, a 2-year contract with her team was a no-brainer, we say. And now that's a wrap on this week's weekly briefings. We will be waiting to hear your thoughts and opinions, so do drop in the comment section below. I will be back next week. Until then, think positive and be happy.